One of the biggest questions we get asked every day is, how do I play in the NBA, or how do I play professionally? Well, in this video, we're going to answer all your questions, but just so you know, we are professional film evaluators. We have a ton of basketball services that can help you out. Everybody on our team either play pro or college ball, so we can really help you out. Everybody wants to make a ton of money playing basketball, but nobody actually lays out the blueprint for you to make it. No, it's not all about scoring. No, it's not all about defending. It's building a strategic course for you to follow your dreams, and that's what we're going to do in this video. They have a bunch of scorers who think that they're going to make it to the NBA because they average 40 and be superstars, guys like Cam Reddish, and the list goes on and on. But I'm telling you right now, if you're a young high school hooper and you think scoring is going to get you there, it's probably not, because they only have 1 or 2 people on each team that are allowed to score and shoot whenever they want to. Everybody else has to find a role. Do not get your heart broken thinking that that is the only way to make it, because you will not make it. And you'll have a lot of fun playing ball at the lower levels, but if your game isn't translatable, you're going to have a really hard time sticking and playing in the NBA or any pro level. One of the biggest mistakes I see kids making is they're not working hard enough. You got to understand, these pros, they were working out 2 to 3 times a day in high school, making sure they got their game right. And the first thing that you guys have to do is micro skill. This is the ball handling. This is the stuff that's not directly game related, but helps you out a lot. It lets you focus on the things that do build up to real game results. And here you can see Tyler Hero really focusing on his handle, getting low, and then translating that into a shot, really working on his mechanics, slowing things down. This type of stuff is extremely important. Detailed work. This is free throw line and below work, where you're really focusing on being extremely detailed in your work. Details are so important, so when you guys are working, think about micro skills as far as using a heavy ball, form shooting, things like that really help your game grow at a lightning fast speed. Now, a lot of you high school kids have a lot going on, but you guys have to remember, you're probably going to have to wake up in the morning to get those extra sessions in, because the work doesn't stop just because you have school. You have to keep working. Now, this athletic work, this movement, strength, conditioning, making sure your body is healthy is so important, because it helps you have longevity. And if you're not healthy, you cannot play. You cannot get your reps in. You can't build something greater. Now, this stuff isn't fun. This stuff is repetitive. But if you can figure out a way to fall in love with getting stronger, faster, quicker, you can become that much better of a player. Defense requires athleticism. Offense requires athleticism. And even the athletes you don't see in the NBA making a ton of money, aren't superstars, they're way more athletic than you can imagine. So make sure you're also locking in, getting stronger, faster, and more athletic. And remember, you're not working out to be a bodybuilder. You're working out to get quicker, faster, and stronger. Now, some guys do need to focus on just lifting to get stronger, depending on how your body composition is and what your game is like. But remember, please do things that also help you move better, faster, and do other things besides just getting stronger. You need to be in great shape. You need to be able to handle bumps. You need to be able to move. Last but not least, you have to be able to put in reps. I know everybody thinks they have the smartest way to develop quickly, but I'm telling you right now, any NBA player will tell you that it took thousands and thousands of reps to make themselves get to that next level. And the reps are important for a few different reasons. Everybody thinks that the reps are just to get better, to make sure that you could hit that shot over and over, but it's also about concentration. It's also about making sure you have the confidence to hit that shot over and over again. You want more confidence? Then get more reps. That helps so much with you in this game, and it shows in your actual game. People could tell when you've done a move thousands and thousands and millions of times. You should really be focusing on reps when it comes to game-like moves, game-like situations. You don't always need somebody there to help you, but you do need to understand how your body works, what shots are comfortable to you, what shots you could implement in a game. The younger you are, the more you should be being diverse in this approach. But as you get older, you understand your game, your spots in the ways that you can get your shot off, and that's what you should be working on your day-to-day work. One thing I see a lot of kids messing up on, and especially trainers, is not having enough live work. Now, what I mean by this is going against some type of defense, getting a hand in your face, somebody to bruise you up. Do you need 3 people here? Absolutely not. But if you can get a friend to hold a stick or push you with a pad, and so that you have to react quick as possible, you're getting in great shape, you're getting used of the real game. And to be honest, in a real game, you will not have shots where you're not being contested. You won't have too many times where you will not have to react to a defense. And all that stuff makes a huge difference come to game time. When you look at guys like Luka, Zach LaVine, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the reason why they can make tough shots is because they practice it. So make sure you're working on adding different things into your game, but make sure you always have somebody there to contest or bump you or whatever. Just implement 20 minutes of that into your routine, and that'll help you out a lot. Obviously, every kid thinks that they're going to be the next MJ or Kyrie or Steph Curry, but the reality is you need to have role clarity. If you're a guy who's a superstar in high school or college, you don't know how that's going to necessarily translate. So you need to have translatable skills you can fit it anywhere. If you're a guard, Jose Alvarez is a great person to study. In college, he averaged 15 points a game, but he understood to build a secondary role was going to help him fit in with any level that he will go to. So he was all defense in college, and that's what he's doing. If you're a small guard and you can knock down shots and you can play defense at a high level, you are going to fit somewhere, because he's not the biggest, fastest, or tallest, but he is on a team making a huge difference. Now, if you're a wing, the rules are kind of different. You can be a way worse, well-rounded player, but you could be so impactful. Jay McDaniels is a great example of that. You could watch him in college. He's going to be able to do 2 things at a high level. He defends at an amazingly high level, and he also shoots the 3 at a high clip. You don't need to be a perfect 3-point shooter, especially if you're as good defensively as him, but you need to be able to have other roles like defense, rebounding, impacting the game without shooting that much. That stuff is so important. All these guys you saw getting 50, 60 points in high school, that doesn't mean that they're going to reach the highest levels. And the last position that we have to talk about is the bigs. We have Derek Lively here, who I consider a rim runner type, a guy who can guard multiple positions. He's really switchable for a big. He sets good screens. He rolls fast. He gets in transition. These are athletic bigs who put a lot of pressure on the rim. So you guys, the defense really has to make decisions. If you're a big that isn't very skilled and you're not athletic, you're not going to probably make it to the NBA. That's just the reality of it. I don't care how much you averaged in college. You need to be either a big who's like Derek Lively, a guy who's athletic, defends hard, or you need to be a guy like Sengun. If you guys don't know who Sengun is, go watch him. He is super crafty, super skilled. He can pass the ball well. Is he the greatest defender? Absolutely not. But his feel for the game and skills was going to keep him in the NBA, and he's probably going to be an all-star because of it. When you look at bigs around the league, they show you pretty much have 2 choices. Be athletic or be extremely skilled with a high IQ. Being a big in today's game is really simple. You have to pick one of these 2 roles and be as great as you can if you really want to make money in the NBA or professionally. For your main players, this is your primary ball handlers. These are your primary scorers. These guys either have a high level of skill like Steph Curry, a guy who understands how to shoot the ball at a high level, extremely skilled, yes, undersized, but he can make every shot in the book, and then he understands how to play off his strengths. Now, what you guys have to understand, especially you guys in high school or college, is 1 or 2 people on each team have a green light to shoot these kind of shots and can play in rhythm with absolute confidence. If you're a young player, you should be striving to play like your favorite player in the NBA while having a backup plan with the secondary role that you built out that you're mastering at the same time. When you look at a guy like Steph Curry, he has a great jump shot, but he knows how to play off that jump shot as well. and that makes him absolutely unguardable. He's a matchup nightmare because he looks at the rim and then it helps him get to the basket, and he can play off of that and really dominate a game. Now, if you aren't that player who's getting those type of reps early, understand that it's hard to transform into this guy. You need reps, you need the work ethic to be absolutely insane, because to be a role player and to be a main guy, your work ethic has to be totally different. And you have to do and work on more things to become that dominant player. Now, if you're a freak athlete like Zion, even a guy like LeBron, Giannis, those kind of guys are super athletic, super smart. You have to understand the game to be able to use your athleticism without the greatest amount of skill, and you also have to be able to be a mismatch problem. Now, if you want to go to the NBA, there's so many different routes you could travel, but make sure you're strategic. If you need any help figuring out your blueprint, make sure you go to our website. We can help out a lot. We have a ton of different services. Just go to hoopdoctors.com and subscribe.